When you keep your cat indoors their whole life, do you actually know what it's doing to them? Most owners carry a quiet bit of guilt about this. You watch them sitting at the window, chattering at a bird they'll never reach, and something in you says, "Is this enough? Am I keeping them from something?" That guilt is built on a myth, and what's actually happening inside your cat is close to the opposite of what you're worried about. Hi everyone, I'm Leo Bennett, your neighborhood cat guy. Today, I'm giving you 5 things that are true about indoor cats that almost nobody tells you. And hold on to one thing as we go, because the last one is the one that matters most. There is something your cat will never be able to tell you, no matter how much they trust you. Not because they don't want to, but because an instinct older than their species won't let them. And there is exactly one thing that beats that instinct, and it only works because your cat lives indoors. Small thing before we carry on. This is one chapter of a much bigger conversation about what your cat is trying to tell you, and I've gathered all of it into a book called The Happy Cat Manual over at leobennettsecrets.com. Go take a look if you want more happy years with your cat. That's all. Let's start with the one that changes everything. Number 1, they live years longer, and the gap is bigger than you think. Indoor cats routinely live 12 to 18 years, and plenty go on into their 20s. For cats with outdoor access, nobody can hand you a reliable number, and the reason why is the disturbing part. Enormous numbers of outdoor cats simply disappear. No vet visit, no cause of death, no record of anything. Just an empty bowl and a question that never gets answered. The statistics are patchy because the cats themselves go missing from them. But if you want a glimpse of what the outside world does, look at cats who live in it full-time with nobody caring for them. Stray and feral cats often survive only a few years. Same species, same instincts, same equipment. The only difference is a door. And once you understand why, you'll stop second-guessing yourself. Because outside, your cat is not the predator they believe themselves to be. To a car at night, they're invisible. To a coyote or a loose dog, they're prey. To a tick or a flea or another cat carrying feline leukemia or FIV, they're simply the next host. Then there's antifreeze, which tastes sweet to cats and is lethal in very small amounts. Rat poison in a neighbor's garage. Territorial fights that leave puncture wounds nobody sees until they've abscessed. And here's the part that gets me. None of those dangers announce themselves. An outdoor cat doesn't get a warning. One evening, they simply don't come home, and the person who loved them spends years wondering what happened. Your indoor cat will never be that story. Every one of those threats you've already deleted from their life. Not by luck, by one decision you made and then kept making, every single time you closed that door behind you. And nobody ever thanks you for it, because the disasters you prevented are invisible. That's the nature of prevention. You don't get to see the version where it went wrong. Number 2, you always know exactly where they are. Every owner of an outdoor cat does this at some point. Standing at the door late at night, calling a name into the dark, waiting for a shape to appear at the edge of the porch light. Sometimes the shape shows up, sometimes it doesn't. And the not knowing is a particular kind of awful. You've never had to live that, and it's easy to forget what a gift that is, because peace of mind is invisible. You only notice it once it's gone. Your version of that moment is, where's the cat? On the sofa, or in the sunspot by the window, or sitting on the exact document you needed because, of course. The worst case in your house is that they've found a new hiding place behind the wardrobe, and you get 30 seconds of mild panic before a pair of judgmental eyes appears. But here's the part almost nobody connects. That certainty runs both ways. Your cat always knows where you are, too. Think about what that means to an animal whose brain is built to monitor and secure territory. Their entire territory is mapped, controlled, and shared with exactly one other creature they've already vetted. No rival cats crossing through it at 3 in the morning, no strange smells at the border demanding investigation. In their mind, they don't live in a smaller world. They live in a solved one. And a cat with a solved world doesn't have to spend their energy on survival. They spend it on you. That's why indoor cats sleep so deeply, and why they'll lie on their backs in the middle of a room with their belly exposed. An animal doing that has concluded that nothing is coming. Number 3. The bond gets deeper indoors. Have you ever wondered why your cat follows you from room to room, or talks to you as if you're supposed to understand every word? Here's something most people don't know. Adult cats barely meow at each other. The meow is a language cats developed almost entirely for humans, and indoor cats become genuinely fluent in it. That isn't an accident. It's what happens when you become the most interesting thing in their territory. An outdoor cat splits their attention across an entire neighborhood. Rival cats to monitor, borders to walk, prey to track. Their human gets whatever focus is left over, which is why so many outdoor cats treat home like a hotel. Check in, eat, sleep, check out. The relationship is real. It's just one of several. Your indoor cat made a different investment. All of that social energy, the watching, the learning, the communicating, is concentrated on you. That's why they know the sound of your car specifically, why they've worked out which footsteps mean food and which mean you're only getting water, why they're at the door before you've touched the handle. And there's research behind it. Studies have found that most cats form genuine attachment bonds to their owners in a way that looks remarkably like the bonds young children form with parents, treating that person as a source of safety. Here's the reframe I'd like you to sit with. People say indoor cats depend on their humans as though that's a flaw. But dependence inside a relationship built on trust has a different name. It's closeness. So the next time your cat yells at you for no discernible reason at 6 in the evening, understand what's actually happening. They built a language for you specifically, refined it over years of trial and error, and worked out precisely which noise gets which result. That's not bad going for an animal everybody insists is independent. But if the bond is that deep, it raises the uncomfortable question. Aren't they still missing something out there? Number 4, they're not missing out the way you imagine. What do you picture when you imagine your cat's dream life? Rolling in grass, chasing a butterfly across a meadow at golden hour. Here's the uncomfortable bit about that picture. It's yours, not theirs. You're imagining what freedom means to a human and projecting it onto an animal whose brain works nothing like ours. So let's actually decode what a cat needs to feel content, because it's surprisingly specific. A cat's sense of well-being rests on 3 things: secure territory, predictable resources, and control over their environment. Notice what isn't on that list. Novelty, adventure, open horizons. Those are human cravings. To a cat, the unknown isn't exciting. The unknown is a threat that hasn't introduced itself yet, which is why your cat inspects a new shopping bag as though it might be armed, and why moving the sofa 2 feet triggers a full investigation that takes most of an afternoon. Novelty isn't a treat to a cat. It's admin. Now run the outdoors through those 3 pillars. Territory outside is never secure. It's contested every single night by cats yours never agreed to share a neighborhood with. Resources out there are unpredictable, by definition. And control? An outdoor cat controls almost nothing, which is exactly why their vigilance never fully switches off. Your home flips all 3. Territory, theirs, undisputed. Resources, arriving on schedule from a large and reasonably well-trained mammal. Control, they know every surface, every hiding place, and the daily timetable of every sunbeam in the building. So, when your cat picks the same windowsill at the same hour every day, that's not boredom you're watching. That's mastery. And the grass and the butterflies, you can hand them those on your terms. A screened window, a catio, a harness and lead if yours is the adventurous type. The point was never that outside has nothing to offer. It's that your cat never needed to risk their life to get the good parts of it. And number 5, the one I told you about at the start, you can see what they're hiding from you. Here's the wiring behind it. Your cat evolved as both predator and prey, and in the wild, an animal that visibly shows weakness becomes a target. So cats developed one of the most stubborn survival instincts in nature. Hide the pain, mask it, carry on looking completely normal until you physically can't anymore. Ask any vet what makes feline medicine difficult, and they'll tell you the same thing. By the time a cat acts unwell, the illness has very often been there for months. It isn't a decision your cat is making, and it isn't stoicism. It's older than they are. It runs automatically. And in a house with central heating and a food bowl, it works against them every single day of their life. Now here's the part nobody frames this way. The earliest warning signs of the conditions that most often take cats from us, kidney disease, diabetes, thyroid problems, urinary blockages, don't show up in how a cat behaves. They show up in the small, boring details of daily life, drinking more water than usual, bigger clumps in the litter box, or more of them, leaving food behind, going to the box repeatedly and producing nothing, which in a male cat is a genuine emergency. A new sleeping spot, eating the same amount and quietly losing weight anyway. An outdoor cat's owner sees none of that. Their cat drinks from a puddle, urinates in a garden 3 houses down, is sick behind a hedge, and walks it off. The instinct working against that cat succeeds completely because the evidence is scattered across an entire neighborhood. Your indoor cat cannot hide from you. Every single clue lands somewhere you can see it. That litter box you scoop every day isn't a chore, it's a medical chart. That water bowl is a test you're running without realizing it. You notice changes in days that an outdoor cat's owner would miss for months. And with these conditions, months are everything. That's frequently the entire difference between a disease you manage comfortably for years and a goodbye that arrives far too early. So let me pull it together. Your cat lives years longer because you removed every one of the threats that take outdoor cats. You never have to stand at a door calling into the dark. The bond is deeper because you're not competing with a neighborhood for their attention. They aren't missing out because what they actually need is security and control rather than adventure. And you can see the things they're built to hide, which is genuinely the most valuable thing on this list. So put the guilt down. You didn't take something away from your cat. You gave them a world small enough to own completely and safe enough to relax in, and one person to spend all that attention on. That's not a compromise. For a cat, that's about as good as it gets. So tell me in the comments, have you ever felt guilty about keeping your cat inside, and has any of this shifted it? And go and look at your litter box tomorrow morning, properly, as though it were a chart, because it is one. Hit like, subscribe, and send this to somebody who's been feeling bad about closing that door. I'm Leo Bennett, and you made the right call.